little bit. I wanted to come visit y'all really quickly and talk a little bit about some minor differences between Lilith, Eve, and Kali Ma. One of the reasons why I'm doing it is because someone had suggested or they said that they wanted to learn more about different deities. Okay, I mostly study the feminine, the goddesses. So if you ever hear me talk about deities, it'll probably be about something feminine. But anyway, I also wanted to talk about this because a lot of times, especially in the so-called conscious community, women will put Lilith above Eve, or they'll be more like Lilith, not like Eve. But the thing about it is that their names actually all mean the same thing. This is why it's important to know within your heart that everything is the same, only appearing different. And look for where things are the same versus different. But anyway, there are some differences between them, but the thing that makes them the same is that every last one of their names means darkness. Darkness, stillness, night. Okay, so like Lilith also means night in Arabic. Okay. Eve obviously means night, or it means like the evening before. So that's how we know that Eve has to do with night. And Kali, the goddess Kali, means dark or black. So that means that all those different goddesses, they are just different aspects of the subconscious mind. That's all they are. There's really no need to put one above the other. Now, the thing about Eve is that she was naive. That's why she's also called Eve, because she was naive. Naive meaning that like you're gullible, like you believe everything. But that is how the subconscious mind works. That's why she's naive, because the subconscious mind believes everything that you tell it. So it's not a bad thing to be like Eve. Not you literally, but to understand that when you tell things to the subconscious, it's going to believe it. Once you know that, now you know how to use that to your advantage and not against you. Okay. But also Lilith, her name also means a screeching owl, and she shows up in the Bible. Okay, she's somewhere in the book of Isaiah. They mention the screeching owl. If you actually open up that word screeching owl, it's going to say Lilith, and it's actually going to describe her as some type of night creature. Now, mind you, this is the same as a lot of her features are the same as what a serpent is. So when people say that it was Lilith that was really in the tree talking to Eve, that's probably right, true, and correct. They're probably just two different versions of how the subconscious mind works, okay, or different levels of the subconscious mind. But the reason why I said that is because an owl also hangs in trees. An owl is also a nocturnal animal. An owl represents wisdom. It's a symbol of wisdom. Today it is anyway. It's a symbol of wisdom, which the serpent is also known as wisdom. That's why Jesus said, be wise like serpents. So he was referring to the serpent as wisdom. Now, wisdom is another word for the womb. If you look at the word wisdom, you will see the word womb right in it. So everything that was happening in the Garden of Eden has to do with what happens in the womb. This is what I teach in Self-Realization of a Goddess. Okay? But the reason why we can also know that the owl or the serpent, either or, because they're the same thing, has to do with knowledge is because it was the serpent / owl / Lilith that said something to Eve about, or it was sitting in the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Now that had to do with Eve. Well, my opinion anyway. Okay, the subconscious of Eve was being tested because there's different, like I said, there's levels to everything, y'all. So there are different levels to the subconscious mind, and there's parts of the subconscious mind that knows everything, and then there's part of us that has a tendency to forget. So Eve was being tested to see if she forgot what she already knew, which was that she was one with God. The test was about oneness. That's the reason why the serpent had to do with knowledge of good and evil, because they're really not separate. They're the same thing. Everything is oneness. Okay, so that part of ourselves that has a tendency to forget has to be tested, and probably by the mature part, which would be which would be the Lilith or the Kali Ma type of energy, or the owl, which represents wisdom, which the owl can turn its neck all the way around to see every side, even the past. So when you think about the story of the Garden of Eden, it is very fair and very righteous and correct to assume that the serpent or the whatever creature was in the so-called tree was a archetype or something like a Lilith type, because it was the more mature version. Now, the more mature version is also someone, I don't want to say someone, but an energy that knows all. That's what wisdom is, because wisdom knows all. And wisdom makes you question things. Wisdom asks you, is that what you heard? Is that what God said? Do you really believe that? So wisdom is not coming to trick you, but it can if you don't know yourself. It's coming to show you that you don't know yourself. So this idea of Eve, Lilith, Kali Ma, like them being separate deities, that's not necessarily true. They're just all different versions of the same thing. Kali Ma also represents that energy of, very similar to Lilith, of subduing the ego, or subduing the masculine aspect of the ego, because there is a feminine part of it. But the masculine aspect of the ego that needs to be subdued, or you control it, not allow it to control you. That is what Kali Ma does. She comes to make you question yourself. That's the same thing that the serpent or the owl or Lilith did to Eve in the garden. It comes to make you question yourself and face the truth about yourself. Okay, so I just wanted to touch on that a little bit. But the point of me saying all that is that all of their names actually mean the same thing. They all mean night, dark, black. And they all have to do with the subconscious and different segments of it, or different parts of the same exact thing. Because darkness also represents being ignorant, not knowing, forgetting. Okay? So y'all enjoy y'all day. Talk to you later. Peace. On my way to my 4th doula appointment. Wish me luck, okay? Well, she's not having a baby. I'm just interviewing her. Bye.